Hey, welcome to Nowhere, the place that's somewhere we don't know, because we burned all the maps. And if we're lost, you ought to be too. Now, without any further ado, please step lightly after me as we begin our journey of life in the swamp. Roughly 80% of the island is underwater, so during your time here, please remember to stay on the floating platform. The swamp itself is mostly safe, but it's often better to not test fate. And as peculiar as it may seem, yes, some of the locals are somehow capable of walking on water? And no, I'm not entirely sure how. Let's just say that they've lived here all their lives and have likely learned many of the ways of nature that are still lost to the regular folk like you and I. Though it may be tempting to follow in their steps, it really is best to leave the performance of miracles to those who are themselves extraordinary. Thank you. Moving along, we've come to the floating train track. Nowhere was, at one time, rather well connected to the outside world. However, after a few particularly rough rainy seasons and a severe lack in infrastructure funding since the Gyroid Council is often a bit preoccupied with other matters, much of the track has washed away. This has led to the main residential area feeling a bit barren of late, but those who have remained are as lively as they've ever been. Many spend their time bopping on the water with a few good drinks in hand and a fishing pole nearby. Others will lurk in the weeds, watching the wildlife. The ducks in particular have had a very busy spring, and now the swamp is bursting with young ducklings. Ribbiting froggies rest on their lily pads and watch as the day slowly croaks by. Most of the locals even own their own boats, so sometimes you might see a few good friends splashing through the water, going nowhere in particular. Oh look, they're already here. Ha! I think I'm so funny. 'Cause I am. Anywho's, did y'all know we still get cable out here? I just found out a few hours ago, and I'm already swamped in shows. Got any television recommendations? Let me know in the comments. This next segment of the tour is sponsored by Captain's Boat Rentals, one of the original and last remaining businesses on the island, aside from the big business conglomerates owned by the Able sisters and the Nook brothers. Oh, how we love globalism. Here at Captain's Boat Rentals, you can head out for the day on a self-guided tour of the swamp, be mindful not to disturb the wildlife, and keep an eye out for trees or bits of wood floating in the water. And for those of you who might prefer a more elegant boating experience, Captain does offer a late evening dinner cruise around the island that leaves from the pier every day at 6 p.m. sharp. Check with Isabel at the town hall to reserve your table ahead of time. Now we'll continue on to my favorite part of the tour, the ancient swamp ruins. As the original home of the locals, this area is to be shown the utmost respect. I myself enjoy coming here because I get to visit with the remains of my great-great-grandfather, Alvin Crossing Sr. Hi, great-grandpappy. My, you sure look extra mossy today. There are many spots around the ruins where we can explore and see the lovely and unique views. Regrettably, the ruins are slowly sinking, so please be sure to take all the photos you'd like as we meander around. The experts say that they won't last much longer than perhaps the next 2 or 3 generations. It's always a bit sad when the monuments of history are lost to the forward progression of time. So wander and enjoy, appreciate that which is before you, because all too often the things that are most precious to us tend to eventually crumble like sand between our fingers. Here on Nowhere, we're a community. We eat most of our meals together while laughing and sharing the stories of our lives. At the end of every tour, we like to extend a warm welcome to you as our guest, and to say thank you for gracing us with your electrifying energy. You help to make us bigger than we could ever be on our own, and for that, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I wish you all the very best, and until next time, bye.